what are the top things that you need from your collaborator?
What are the qualities that you look for?
We had basically 1 week for pre-production, for production, and for post-production.
In this video, we are going to break down the cinematography workflow between a DP and a director for our Spotify commercial. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicole. I'm a cinematographer based in Toronto, and we have a special guest today, Carissa.
Thank you for having me. When I got the word that it was going to be for Spotify Wrapped, I immediately thought of Nicole, and I knew that I wanted to treat this more as a spec versus just a regular brand deal. For me, most of the time, YouTube is just like on my own, or like maybe one other person helping me.
Yeah.
Like I recruit a friend or whatever. For this project, I wanted to flex that director muscle. I wanted to see how it would be working with a crew. It was the perfect brand for it. There was a budget for it. So I felt like this was my chance to kind of show what I could do for a brand deal, but also something that I actually just wanted to make. I thought it would be like such a fun project to make, and if I could really translate my vision into reality when it's not just me anymore. And that's when Nicole came into the picture.
Yeah.
The timeline was very fast turnaround. I signed it on a Thursday, and I called Nicole the next day. We had basically 1 week for pre-production, for production, and for post-production. So, end of year rush.
It was a good challenge, and it just goes to show that it can be done in that short of a time. I think sometimes when you have an entire idea and your timeline doesn't exactly match, it's just about shrinking the scope too. We made it work. So.
We made it work. We made it work. Basically, the concept of this Spotify Wrapped was they gave me a brief, and it was supposed to be about the seasons, or like your journey throughout the year listening to your songs. So I immediately thought of, okay, I'll depict the seasons in this and kind of show the journey throughout the year. I knew that I wanted the vibe to be kind of nostalgic.
I think you almost said like a fresh start.
A fresh start.
Because it's like Spotify Wrapped, so it's like end of year, enter into your new season, basically.
New season. I wanted it to be dreamy because I knew it was going to be fast. It was going to be a montage. We already knew the song. Luckily, I got the green light to use Pink Pony Club by Chappell Rowan. I wanted to essentially make sort of like a movie trailer throughout the year.
Directors will use adjectives, and you say nostalgic, you say like dreamlike, the fresh start, like the beginning of something. All of these words will steer you into like a creative choice. We won't shoot this at night because that doesn't feel fresh and dreamlike, right? We want to shoot this with warm lights. We want to shoot this with sun. We want to make sure that our contrast ratios are similar to what movies look like. We don't want it to look like a high-key commercial. Translating from references and the words that you're using will actually help you in choosing the lenses, choosing the lights, choosing location. It's all like just information. So the more you talk and the more you talk about the idea, the more it will just inform you on the cinematography side about your decisions.
Yes, this is a paid ad, but I genuinely use Milanote. This is the platform that I use when doing specs, when doing paid work. It's just my home base of where I keep track of all of my projects, and it's a really good way to present information to your client in a very clean and aesthetic way. It's also great when you have two creatives like Carissa and I, where she will also be creating her storyboards on here, or just dragging and dropping images so that it's easily viewable. You can add to-do lists. There's so much customizability. I really like sharing this with clients because even if they don't have a Milanote account, you can share a viewable link, which is really nice. This was the first place that we started, was the ideation and brainstorming. So we've just basically dumped any references that we have in the back of our head and that we really want to try to recreate. This mood board and color reference board was also used for our colorist. So it's not just a reference for me and Carissa to talk about, but it's also something that you can send to your colorist if you have one, and they know exactly what kind of looks that you want to go for. Nice and simple to share that with them, even if they don't have a Milanote account. We linked the song on the homepage of the Milanote. This was also very helpful because anybody who had this link to the Milanote could easily connect to the Bluetooth speaker and then play the song. So even if you do music videos, that's a really good way to have the song in a spot that is easily accessible. We used this in order to establish our pacing, so we had very specific shots that needed to be a certain length and time to match up with the lyrics and the timing of the song. And then let's say you are presenting this to a client, it's really nice to have an overall description, something that tells the viewer of this board right off the bat what it is that you're doing. I also really like to add in the deliverables right off the bat. I'm jumping from project to project. Some projects require vertical, some don't. This required vertical for sure. That was the main deliverable, was 9x16. It was important for me to, right off the bat, once I see this Milanote homepage, I can remember, okay, yeah, this is 9x16 priorities, so I'm gonna be framing differently because of that. Milanote is fantastic because it is very easy to use. It is very easy to understand. If you have never used a software like this, you can pretty much get right into it and start. If you click the link down below, it'll take you to Milanote and you can sign up for a free account. You have access to a certain number of cards, so it limits you. If you have a free account, you can upgrade your Milanote account to the Pro version, and that will unlock a limited amount of cards.
So after doing pre-production, we knew that we were only going to have 2 days to film the whole thing, and we wanted as much scenes as possible to have as much variety as we could, but also we were limited on time. This project was split up between like main locations and then just like whatever we can fit in between. Since I knew the song was Pink Pony Club, how can we not do a roller rink? Since we were doing the seasons as well, I wanted the roller rink to represent summer. It was at the end of November, beginning of December. It was so cold outside, and I was like, how the heck am I gonna depict summer? The roller rink was pretty much like, that was the selling point of choosing the roller rink. We dressed in summer clothes, so that was kind of like a saving grace for the video as well.
Having a location that already had lighting and set design ready, so timing wise, even booking it, we were like, okay, we don't need 6 hours because that would also be way too expensive. How can we make sure we get the shots but not break the bank? So it was a good balance.
I think our saving grace too was that I just knew what the necessary shots to get were, and focused on that, and like if we could get all of that, then we could move on to like, okay, like these are for fun kind of shots.
Yeah, you know your mandatory shots, and then you know the shots that are for fun, but if we have time, let's get them. There were definitely some shots we did not end up getting just because of time.
Now we can talk about what we learned and what we would do different for next time.
Yeah, for me, it was the lens choice.
We wanted it to look like a movie, so to us, the obvious choice was, oh, let's try to get cine lenses.
2 sets of lenses we actually used for this. The first day was DZO primes, and the second day was photo lenses.
Yeah.
You have to make the executive decision as a cinematographer, what lenses am I gonna use? And it's not always about the look of them. Do I have time and crew enough for me to actually operate this camera?
It depends what your priority is as well. Like our priority was coverage. Like if we had one money shot per location, then 100% we would have chose like the best lens as possible. But since we were trying to get like a ton of shots in a very short amount of time, that would be a situation where you would kind of call for more like an automatic lens.
The locations, your wardrobe, the writing, just how the edit flows together, like making sure you have that balance of day and nighttime. All of those little contributing factors make the edit and the final product way bigger and better than if we had spent money on like crazy cinema glass. If we didn't have a great location, if we didn't understand lighting, those are things that play a way bigger role than 100%. Just a nice lens. So that was a big takeaway for me.
What I took away was that if you're gonna do a bigger scene, if you're gonna have extras, then it's probably a good idea to have somebody on set dedicated to like wrangling the extras. Just make sure that like the food is coming on time, like just like the more little like logistics, whether that's just like a project manager or like another
production
producer,
coordinator,
anything like that. Just like one extra hand if you know that it's not just gonna be you for the talent, like you're gonna have extras.
We can't do it all. I wish I say this every day, but I wish there was 3 of me. Like, I know, you know, literally. And in that scenario, you were literally 3 people. You were the director, you were the actor, and you were like producer. So
it's good to write it down after a shoot happens, like when it's still fresh in your mind.
In the production Bible, I have a little feedback tab on every single shoot, and I try my best to ask whoever was kind of the main collaborators and ask like, what do you think we could do better? Is there areas for next time we can improve on? And you actually write it down in the Bible, so it's attached to that project. Anytime you move forward, you just kind of refer back to that feedback section.
Especially if you're planning to like collaborate more than once with that person too. It's nice. It's like helpful to be like, oh yeah, we did this last time, let's do it differently. As a DP, how is it working with a director with an already existing style? And how do you like translate that, and how do you execute their vision?
I think finding the style
and the characteristics
of your director's previous work is just studying it, having those as a reference like on board on the day. And because she was also acting in it, it's just making sure she sees the frame. So once she's done acting, I would just be like, hey, do you want to check it? Sometimes you'd be like, I trust you, like it doesn't matter, let's just move on. But other times you would want to see it, and I think that helped affirm that, okay, she's good with it, and just kind of copying those characteristics along the way.
For this, it wasn't really commercial lighting, it wasn't like high key lighting. So then I think for you, like you're like, okay, like she likes it like this, rather than like having the light like right here.
Yep,
it's like
exactly.
Back here instead.
Having someone as a partner throughout the whole thing. Directors and DPs are like the duo basically throughout the whole thing. What are the qualities that you look for?
For me, it's like very important for whoever I'm working with to just understand the world of social media and YouTube. I guess like we both started in this traditional space, but you went into the traditional space and I went separate to social media, which is like very different like mindsets and approaches to certain things. But working with a DP, I wanted to make sure that they understood that some things are going to have to be super fast. We can't always take the time to perfect things. If there's a shot that we can do it in a cheaper way, I'm totally for that. Again, it's like for social media, it's not on a big screen. Different budgets, you'll get different results, but you'll be surprised of like what you can achieve within each tier. What are the top things that you need from your collaborator?
If you're a director, if you're a producer, it's just communication. As long as there's constant communication, as soon as you do something, let me know. That way I can either predict what is about to happen and get started on something sooner, setting expectations at the beginning. Like, what are some of the things you personally want to achieve out of this? With a brand deal, you could have shot this, you know, but you decided, you know what, I want to expand this and get a bigger crew. Why is that meaningful to you? And is it you want better practice as an actor or as a writer and letting go of the other responsibilities so then you have more time to do those things? Or is it just the fact that you want to practice collaborating in general? Each project is going to be so different, and if you know what they want to get out of it, if you want more time to do those things, then on my end, I can fill in some of the blanks that I already know you don't want to do, so I can just take care of them, and that way you have more time to do what you want, and vice versa. Like, I think my goal on this was to experiment with budget filmmaking and like see, can I make something look super cinematic without, you know, using the crazy lenses or using extremely expensive lighting? I understand now that will sell the frame more than just some of the gear that you use. It's like how you use it, your general understanding of the style. Like, it's just all these little cool things that all come together. So that was my personal challenge, and I think communicating that together, it was like, okay, I know what's important to you and you know what's important to me, and we can work together in that way. We both get what we want out of it, and we're like excited to push each other and like make it the best it can be. So
exactly. And like, how can we make it look 5 times the budget?
Exactly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to Cariza's channel. You can find the official Spotify ad on her IG, and I also have it on YouTube. Please comment down below if you want to see more collabs like this. We're definitely gonna come out with some cool stuff this year, so stay tuned for like more branded content like this, more breakdowns, and share, like, comment, subscribe, all of the things, and I will see you in the next one.
I think we did a good job.
I think so, if I don't say so myself. And see you.